On the defense, the Trump administration is facing growing criticism it's not done enough to contain the spread of coronavirus in the United States.
I'm deeply concerned that we are way behind the 8 ball on this.
At a hearing on Capitol Hill on Tuesday, the U.S. Health and Human Services Secretary said development of a vaccine for the virus may still be a year away. He openly admitted the Trump White House needs $2.5 billion in emergency funding from Congress to fight the spread of the global outbreak.
So we do have in the Strategic National Stockpile ventilators, we have masks, we have...
Enough?
Well, of course not, or we wouldn't be asking for a supplemental to seek more money to procure more of that.
Well, he appears to have been a 60-year-old man, a teacher from just outside the French capital, initially hospitalised in the suburbs in a serious condition before passing away at this hospital in central Paris. He hadn't, it seems, travelled to either Italy or to China. We'll obviously expect more details from officials throughout the day. French officials also announcing a total of 4 new cases here on French territory, one of whom is said to be in a serious condition, one of whom said to be in a stable condition and had apparently travelled to the Lombardy region of northern Italy. Now, this 60-year-old man, the first French national to die of coronavirus in the country. There was one other fatality, a Chinese tourist, an elderly patient on the 14th of February. France so far recording a total of 17 cases.
میخواستم به اطلاعتون برسونم که منم کرونایی شدم. تب داشتم، تست اولیه‌ام آخر شب مثبت شد. اگر تعداد فوت شده در قم به دلیل این بیماری نصف و 1/4 این تعدادم باشه من استعفا میدم.
The suburbs of Jafrabad and Bajambura in northeast Delhi have become battlegrounds in the fight against India's Citizens Amendment law. For the third successive day, security forces fought with protesters both for and against the law.
We are scared of the police, because police supporting them, police supporting Hindus, not Muslims. We fire, the police also fire from the on Muslims only. Not Hindus. Police not supporting Muslims.
Police are being criticised for not intervening and stopping the violence against Muslims, often simply standing by and watching. Videos on social media seem to show police helping Hindu nationalists collect rocks, and other images are of officers apparently beating Muslims.
Of MI5 has called on technology companies to create ways to allow the security services to gain access to the encrypted messages of terror suspects. Sir Andrew Parker said the online world needed to be governed by the same laws and policed in the same way as the real world. Messaging apps such as the Facebook-owned WhatsApp use end-to-end encryption, meaning that encrypted messages can be accessed only by unique recipients. Sir Andrew Parker said that if access was built into the programs for his agency, it would only focus on terrorist suspects. But critics argue that compromising the security of the software in any way would allow others to hack into the apps and read messages. Cybersecurity expert Dr. Johannes Drooghaag says that MI5 is looking at encrypted messages after an incident rather than using it as a form of prevention.
Viña del Mar is Chile's version of Monte Carlo, a seaside city famous for hosting the Spanish-speaking world's most prestigious song festival for the past 60 years. But this week, the so-called Garden City is unrecognizable, the latest epicenter of months of unrest. While pop star Ricky Martin opened the Viña del Mar festival, outside, protesters chanted, "Yes, we can," as hooded vandals ransacked a car dealership. Others burned vehicles and destroyed property. For President Sebastián Piñera, who was under fierce pressure from his conservative constituency to crack down on 4 months of ongoing unrest, this was the last straw.
And low visibility, cars with fog lights on and ghostly silhouettes in almost deserted streets. Mauritania's capital, Nouakchott, was covered on Monday by a thick cloud of sand and dust, which extended as far as Senegal. Take a look.
Smoke engulfs the skies of Port-au-Prince as Haiti's economic and political crisis takes a turn for the worse. Haiti's capital remains under lockdown after clashes between police and the military on Sunday left 2 servicemen dead and a dozen wounded. The clashes were the most violent since police began protesting late last year over pay and working conditions, and led to the suspension of Carnival, a multi-day music and dance festival that culminates in a colorful procession. Many protesters, however, support the police, demanding that Haitian President Jovenel Moïse be removed from office over allegations of corruption. The political crisis has also left Haiti cut off from much-needed international aid, and as a result, the country is going through a food shortage.
The Greek islands of Lesbos, Chios, and Samos on Wednesday staged a general strike as a protest against the construction of new migrant camps. Intensified. Take a look. For a second day in a row, protesters on Lesbos faced off against riot police near the town of Mantamados, close to the site of a planned camp for up to 7,000 people. The regional governor's office has called a 24-hour strike, rejecting the government's plans to build the new camps to replace currently overcrowded facilities where asylum seekers live in dire conditions. There are more than 38,000 migrants crowded into camps on the islands of Lesbos, Samos, Chios, Leros, and Kos, despite an official capacity of just 6,200. The islanders have long complained that the presence of thousands of asylum seekers threatened safety and public health and opposed government plans to build new camps for them on the islands.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but a trio of baboons on the loose in Sydney has shut down one of its busiest hospitals. 3 baboons shut down one of Sydney's busiest hospitals. You heard that right. Today's Sydney reporter Gabrielle Boyle is at Royal Prince Alfred Hospital. Gabby, what the?
Yes. Say it.
I think this is the story of the year, if not the story of my entire career. This is an absolute cracker, this one. It's a bit of a mix of The Great Escape, a bit of David Attenborough, and probably a little bit of Anchorman to boot. Yesterday afternoon, 3 baboons that were on their way here to Royal Prince Alfred Hospital have somehow managed to escape their cage and run free throughout the grounds, and they have sent the hospital into lockdown. In fact, they had to call in the police and workers from Taronga Zoo to try and capture these 3 rascals. They eventually did that by sedating them.